Hello everyone, this is Triptych. I have another game immediately after the previous game. This is a 3 versus 3 on, I forget the full name of the map, I think it's just S something. This time we actually did choose races and teams. So we have the top team, Team 1, which is Drazon in red. So Drazon as Mason Federation, Starmaster Prodigy as Assimilate Borg, and Jokar as Optimize Borg. And on this map, you can see the front players have a bit of an engagement lane between each other. There is a Purple Nebula back door here, so if you turret this off or just keep it scouted, you can avoid being raided. But otherwise, like, it is possible to get in here and kill your dilithium. But in general, like, especially Starmaster's position is a very safe one where he doesn't really get raided, he just sort of supports his allies. I think you can also fly through here, but flying through damaged nebulas is just a pain. Not because it kills your ships, but because it's annoying to micro. Your ships will constantly try to turn back and get out of the nebula, which I guess emulates having captains who don't like flying through damaged nebulas. They just keep disobeying your orders. On the right, we have the Tiger, who is a Mason Federation. In the bottom right, we have Ashley, who is Mason Federation. And in the bottom left, we have a Breen Avatar Ugly the Great. And in the other observer slot, I have Martok here with me.
Hello.
So that's a... Are there any cloakers in this game? No, no cloaks. So we have a pair of Federation frontrunners, and Tiger is immediately moving out to get that expansion mining with one of his home constructors. And then on the wing positions, Ashley is... she has an Antares yard very fast. I wonder if this is going to be quick sabers. Man, I'm gonna lose track of who's Mason and who's Risner. Or is everybody here Mason? Okay, they're all Mason, which helps. But actually, she's going for an engineering before getting up her home mining, which is gonna you're gonna hit a block on this tritanium mining.
I'm very interested if Ugly noticed that there is like a small passage between Drazon and him.
I did mention it to him before the game.
They come, yeah, I told them as well, but I'm not sure if he listened. Because they will definitely come down there and raid him.
That's fair. So...
Mike is already moving his constructor there. Build the uplink exactly there.
Yeah, Assimilate Avatar, I mean, you know, Assimilate Avatar, the one people only use when they're trying something funny. But he doesn't have Conduction Matrix yet, which means he's going to have to build it here? Maybe he's planning to get, like, Holding Beam later? I think Mighty is planning to go heavy eco like he likes to, yeah. Getting extra freighters, like, he did discover you can build your mining up faster if you just completely skip the Conduction Matrix for a while. And that's an interesting trade-off. Because I've made probes buildable from the Assimilation Matrix, you can get, like, one probe out to defend yourself, but then you're spending the time.
I see a turret rush coming.
The time you can...
You see that constructor?
Which one? Oh, you mean Drazon?
I know, it just builds a turret there. Okay,
yeah,
I thought he was going through and turret rush him.
Oh, through over to Ugly's base? That would have been interesting.
Sorry.
We do see Tiger getting a platform up in the forward position, so he's hoping to fortify that. Yeah, so no ships from Tiger. No ships from Drazon. They're not fielding sabers this time around. They think the damage they could do just isn't significant enough. And I don't know, I tend to agree. Their run distance is kind of short, so honestly, like, 1 or 2 sabers could do some damage to these expansions, but they didn't rush for it. They're all focusing, and, like, even if you do rush the one opponent across from you, there's 2 other opponents you just couldn't raid very effectively unless you go through the Purple Nebula. So, wow, yeah, Ugly hasn't even gotten any shipyards yet. He's really focusing on that mining. Yeah, is there an... Oh, there's another one. There is also, like, a single dilithium in the middle of each lane. So, and this one, they look kind of exposed because you can fly through this damage nebula to raid them. I don't know if I would. Like, if I was a cloaking race, I'd almost rather just... I probably would prefer to just fly my ships all the way around this thing than to go through that nebula. Like I said before, it's not just because of the damage, it's because of the way ships behave around damaged nebulas. It makes them a huge pain to control. So Ashley has her engineering I think she stalled out a little bit getting that home mining up and going to expand, but no ships there. Starmaster Prodigy is getting his conduction matrix finally and sending miners out. In the top, Jokar, who is optimized Borg, is... I think he's probably getting some coaching from Starmaster, because he also has gone for a much better mining than last game. And he'll probably start his conduction matrix pretty soon here. Upgrading to a pulse platform is a tricky one, because the actual combat stats of pulse platforms are not very good. I mean, 77 damage, but 5-shot delay. And the fact that it's medium range makes it not that good at stopping raiders. Like, if you have Rians or even, you know, bugs, they can just fly down here. I guess in this game it would be Federation stuff. So like Sabers. The Sabers have longer range than the platforms, so they're just going to be able to raid around it. But it is incredibly tanky, it's very cheap, and it takes half damage from short range. So like, well, I guess scout cubes weren't a threat anyway, but he's staking a claim, especially with the second platform. They're really counting on that, especially since Tiger has no other ship production, and Ashley has no ship production, and Ugly has no ship production at all. Everybody's economy is really getting up there. Engineering from Drazon. Okay, there comes some Sabers. He's finally like, you know, I can fly like 2 Sabers over there and get some free kills probably. Although by the time the Sabers are done, I don't know if he'll get those kills. Medium Vinculum coming up from Starmaster, which could be an assimilator or a pyramid. Probably a pyramid. Oh wow, exactly 0 resources. I must have given. No more freighters coming out for these guys, so I think it'll probably be a pyramid. An assimilator just wouldn't be the kind of force projection you need this early, especially when there's turrets on the other side. And there goes Jokar's conduction matrix, and his resources are already starting to build up a lot faster this game since he has full mining, and even early docking one of his miners. I wonder why, if he like specifically needed more die for something. Drazon getting a platform. Tiger building his... What is with people building Starfleet engineerings at their forward bases? Like, you can build it next to your star base unless you're planning to build a star base out here. Or maybe he has another platform. Maybe he's just planning to never ever give this up. I guess you could say when it comes to this forward expansion, Tiger's plan is to never gonna give it up, never gonna let it down, never gonna run around and desert it. I have nothing to talk about, okay?
At the moment it's just waiting what they're doing. I'm really wondering why they didn't go through there and raid Ugly, because he has absolutely nothing to defend his mining there.
Yeah, is there... Okay, there's a yard coming up for Ugly, finally. Yeah, it is quite an investment to get all these miners. Oh, and he's even got supply mining going. That's very early supply mining. So,
could be dead if it just sent some ships through this nebula there. But,
and wow, at this rate, wait, who went through where? Oh,
but
no,
it didn't.
Sabers. Got it. I see just Sabers there. Man, at this rate, every single moon on the map except for this top dilithium is going to be mining before the players have a fight. They are really on this eco, and Starmaster Prodigy has really gone forward with this pyramid. An innate rushing advantage that the Borg have is they can fly their constructor straight over to the enemy and build their ship closer. Oop. Fed Scout getting whacked. A single Saber from Tiger. Not even getting chassis level 1 yet, but more platforms. You see, the problem with this is, even though you can build a hard point here, I like the way on this map you see Tiger's base is sort of up by the top, but there's a gap by the bottom. And similarly, Drazon's base is by the bottom, but there's a gap near the top. So the turrets are not going to defend this location as well as Tiger thinks they are. You do need ships, like you use them together, so you have a fleet of ships that can then come back. Ugly not building any small yard ships, going for Tech Lab. Ashley going for warpins, which other than one Saber, maybe the first combat ships out of the bottom team will be a Warpin. Which Warpins do decently well against assimilation tactics. Second platform on the left, second medium Vinculum. One medium and a bunch of small Vinculums out of Jokar. Could be some raiding. There we go. 3 Sabers are raiding another Saber. And when everybody's Sabers, not a lot of people die. Oh yeah, he gives it a repair order, but there's no repair yards here. And he's building his Starfleet Science forward. So yeah, be a little bit careful there because of the starbase. But yeah, these Sabers, yeah, Tiger's actually already pulling back, which is smart of him. He is going to save the miners themselves, probably. Man, these moons are very far away from the starbase, though. So it's just going to be so easy for Drazon to raid, and honestly, these guys probably should have been building ships to raid each other a bit earlier, considering how cheap these are. Pyramid is out. It is a double holding beam torpedo nanite factory. So this is the maximum assimilation you can get at this point, I think. Well, like very, very slightly higher system value if you go with a single regen module, but the torpedo's good. And there's the forward Arata yard. That's going to make this into a bastion. This pyramid, there's no repair yards here, so I think he can just capture the constructor. Unless Tiger boards it with other ships. You see that special actually takes quite a lot of energy. Holding beams take a lot more energy than blue beams do, but he gets it, and no cancel on the Arata yard, so Tiger loses that money. The constructor dies horribly because capturing it makes its shields lower, and then the stations just knock it out. But he also, while he was capturing that guy, his torpedo was wailing on this phaser platform, which then upgraded, so that's going to be a kill. And this is very nasty for the right side team. Man, that holding beam uses energy and captures things a whole lot faster than the blue beam does. Ashley warps in to drive off the Sabers. In the bottom middle, Excessive Strike is researching, and Ugly is upgrading. He needs it to be level 3 before it will be able to get V-13 battleships, but then he'll be producing with his oodles of money. But a second pyramid is starting for Starmaster Prodigy, and you saw what it did to the turret earlier. Although, Drazon doesn't realize the pyramid retreated. Now he does. And those Sabers are going to die, but they were only Sabers. In the top right, a sphere is done. This time it is a triple beam torpedo sphere, so that is full on offense. And, okay, another medium vinculum coming.
Quick question, how much crew does the nanite factory take away from the ships?
I want to say 9%. It's percentage based. It's based on how much they have.
Right, thanks.
So, we'll take this moment to talk about the nanite factory. It goes off in an area and kills a percentage of crew on its targets. Which, honestly means that if you can... I've always struggled with whether the ability is bugged. If you just like tap, tap, tap it several times, I don't know if it does its full effect properly. Maybe that's something I should test to be absolutely sure. But in general, several nanite factory pyramids can be extremely dangerous because no matter how many enemies there are and no matter how high their crew is, if you pop nanite factory like 4 or 5 times, they're going to go into yellow crew status. And as I mentioned, that reduces their rate of fire by half. So it won't capture them, and then your ship will be out of energy, but it will low crew all of them, and their damage output will be halved. So it's a huge advantage in combat to be able to use the nanite factory. So maybe that's another reason to use nanite, to use Assimilate Avatar, even if you're not going in assimilation. Like, even if you're not capturing ships, you can still low crew ships. And there's the platform invasion that Martok was talking about earlier. Drazon is getting a platform up
finally
in range of Ugly's mining. Ugly, who has 1 battleship.
Can you explain to me why Ugly is building a sensor station?
Well, it does have good vision range now, in Triptych's mod, its sensor range is raised up, but that is a good question because it's not a tech requirement for the super sensor station anymore.
And there's no
And there's no cloakers.
cloaking on this map here.
Well, as long as he doesn't research the remote ping.
Okay. Let me see. Is he researching that?
No, he's not. But so after a massive investment in resources, Ugly does have 2 large yards fully upgraded building V13s, and honestly, he could probably get a third one with his income. There's the platform. Does he upgrade the platform, or does he go to build another one? Okay, he's building another platform. I think he's hoping Ugly didn't notice, but Ugly did notice, and there's a battleship on the way. Let's see. You need an errata yard in order to upgrade the torpedo platform, and he does not have one. So he can't get torpedo turrets, but there's 2 pyramids. Oh dear. Now, out of all the freighters in the game, the Dominion ones have the highest crew because they double as constructors. And actually, they have more crew than some constructors of other races. Like, yeah, the Mediterranean only has 100. So, capturing them... Oh, he's capturing the supply station. Ha. Well, the pyramids are out of energy, but they captured the station. And it's decommissioning. And it's not cheap. Oh, he did get a torpedo platform. Oh, he does have an errata yard in the middle. Oof, and this battleship has to run, and it holding beams it for a second. And I think that the battleship gets away, but there's no repair yard here because you built your yard, your construction yard elsewhere, so like you can't repair it. And the station only has 60 offense, so they're going to kill this mining, which is a huge chunk out of Ugly's income. I don't think Ugly needed it too much because he's just getting a third yard in order to use it, but that torpedo platform will forever threaten this mining station, so maybe you were right. Maybe Ugly did ignore the fact that that was there. Oh no, that battleship that was automatic. That was an AI thing. That battleship was not ready. Oh, there it goes. Oh yeah, Ugly is getting really badly locked down.
Oh,
and he's
I
out.
thought that would happen, yeah.
Oh, that's
as soon as he
unfortunate.
gets raided there, he will quit.
I kind of wanted to see more, but he was...
I mean, he would still have had enough mining to play this game and everything, but it's like Ugly. If he loses something, he quits. It's the easiest way to end the game fast.
So, sometimes going AI controlled will cause the game to lag, but it seems like it isn't that bad this time. And it does have full build queues. Although, oh, that's interesting. Having the AI take over cancels any active buildings that are building. So, oh, he also was upgrading expanded fighter bays, though. It's not going to be enough. So yeah, we're watching sort of a aftermath battle now. Star Master Prodigy's industry has taken off, and he's at 3, about to be 4 pyramids. And without Ugly, Ugly was kind of acting as the anchor of the bottom team, these V13s with their 340 crew were not going to be able to be captured by those pyramids. Even when there's like 5 pyramids, they'd still struggle with that. So without him around, the right-hand team are in a pretty rough spot. Oh! Tiger has warped in to raid against Jokar's mining and seems to be doing okay. There's a Dode coming after them, but that's not going to do too much. I don't know where... Oh, there they are. Jokar had sent his sphere over to the front, and now it's running back. So, I mean, they'll kill one constructor. People really are not using the regeneration special in my mod. It's kind of bugging me. I guess it's because they use their conduction matrices constantly for their vinculums. I'm telling you, on these high economy games, look at that. Jokar has almost 6,000 die. You actually need 2 conduction matrices. And if you did, you'd be able to get the regeneration special, and then you could regenerate your freighters. It's like building a repair yard for them. But with that said, Ashley is sending ships to try to chase off these pyramids, but it's not enough. There's 2 pyramids here, and Drazon is mining from Ugly's dilithium moon. That is cheeky. This is bad though. These pyramids are almost at full energy, and there's that bug again. Since the station finishes upgrade while the pyramids are here, the fighters are not going after it. A whole lot of damage gets dealt to Starmaster's pyramid like really fast. That was surprising. There is even a Defiant, but it doesn't have critical shot. And there's a green beam going after some monsoons. He did pop the special earlier, and okay, yeah, the constructor. That was a good call on Ashley's part, killing that off. But there's 2 torpedo platforms. They take reduced damage from short range, which is actually Defiance. So they take half damage from Defiance. And now I think this is just sort of a what's the word? A death throw. Because Ashley's not gonna survive this.
Nah, that's suicide.
Yeah, and now there's a new one with energy. Captures a Defiant. Now I did modify the torpedo platforms to have slightly lower range so that like an artillery range ship can hit them and they can't hit back if you micro it very carefully. But it would have taken a while to remove that, even with the steam runners. What the? And going through to attack Drazon's platforms. Drazon upgrades 1, 2. And they're gonna kill one, interestingly enough. Oh, and somehow I think Drazon must have flown some ships all the way up through the top.
He did not know about the back, and we both told him that there is a secret passage.
We told him like 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay,
Told
well,
you, we won't
good game.
listen.
I don't know if I'll put this one on YouTube, or maybe I'll make it unlisted. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, for now, this is Triptych signing off.